the book is about investigating those relationships between technology and people who actually use the technology and make music. And I also wanted to show presets is not something which is just about electronic music. So I did interviews with people from classical music, from traditional music, from heavy metal, who use digital technology and presets for their work. We always build on previous knowledge. So we need to decide, that's where we take something that's there, which is culturally given and which connects us to other people who use the same gear. And that's where we put our creativity, how we put it to use. People appreciate something which they didn't have already. When Jeff Mills came along, like early 90s, and had this huge breakthrough with his sound. Then many people sounded like Jeff Mills, but today still Jeff Mills is the #1 with that sound. So it's really popular, but it's also totally individual. There was nothing like this before. But it takes a lot of effort and time just to find your individual way and to convince people that it's something they actually want, because they don't know now. They'll know in 5 years maybe. But that's the way all of the artists have to go through if they want to stay in music for a long time and do something that resonates with people, So I think you can be totally individual and very successful at the same time, but you just have to go through a long time to develop it. If you look at music, there are always standards. There's always, so you can make your own sound design, but most people who do their own sound design, they still put it into this grid, 4/4, 16th notes. They put it into a specific tempo. It's 126 or 100, whatever, popular tempo to be mixable with other records. So there's always some standard. I'm trying not to be dogmatic. I don't think people who will listen to the music eventually care how it has been done. You can be done in 10 minutes, can be done in half a year. The only thing that matters is the result and how it relates to how people feel. So it all matters how you make it work as music, and if you can make it interesting in some way. It doesn't need to be sound design. If you're talking about presets, it's basically just sound design. So if you don't care about sound design, you need to care about structure, about melody. How do we tune things maybe? Which tempos do we use? Which patterns? How to, you need to be interesting at some point. You can't be preset in every single thing. If we look back when techno began, late 1980s, I think on house, Chicago house also, there was a total break in how you create music towards anything that was beforehand. It totally broke with a song structure, which was in folk and pop music. We didn't have a tool before that to nail something exactly in time. And if you think about it, anything that's important in techno happens within less than a second. Just 1, 2, and usually it repeats with 1, 2. It's not even 4, 4. It's 2, 2. So you have so much information packed in such a little element of time, and we never had that before in the history of music. It's really hard to compare this to anything. It's when in painting they discovered this perspective, and the whole way you compose pictures changed. And that happened to music through techno, and later on it also began affecting all other styles of music in digital editing.